100 years ago, if you felt like traveling pretty much anywhere within your continent, you were probably going to do that by car. And then 50 years later, if you felt like traveling anywhere, at least within your region, you were probably still going to do that by car. And that was that era where you've got the Great American Road Trip, you've got like those big old station wagons, you pile all the kids in the back, you picnic and all that kind of stuff like that. But if you were a person of a certain type of mindset and means, you probably were going to go in something a little bit more flashy, like a Ferrari or an Aston Martin. Nowadays, those people would just get on a little puddle jumper plane and fly, even if it's only 45 minutes up the road. But in the 1950s and 60s, there was an idea of something called a Grand Tourer. And that's what I'd like to explore here. So nowadays, Grand Touring has kind of become like a little bit of a perverted concept. It's even hard to nail down. Like, we all have the term Grand Touring on the tip of our tongue. This is a Mustang GT. The GT stands for Grand Touring. There's Grand Touring Racing or Gran Turismo like GT3. But I think they kind of missed the plot. And here's where I'm going with that. GT3 racing, like Le Mans, stuff like that. Le Mans is an 8.5 mile course. They just go around in circles. I don't think that's really touring. And you can buy a minivan with a Grand Touring package, but it's a minivan. It's not a Ferrari 250 GT, and it's not a modern replacement for that. And American cars, for some reason, can't be Grand Tourers. I don't really know how that works, but apparently an American car can't be a Grand Tourer. You've got to have a Bentley or an Aston Martin or something like that in order to call your car a Grand Tourer. But I don't have an Aston Martin. Got a Mustang. So in the original Grand Tourers from like 1960 or whatever, the idea behind those was that they had to have enough horsepower that you could go whatever speed you wanted to, because this was for dynamic people of means. They had to have comfortable enough suspension that you and whoever you were traveling with were comfortable crossing Europe, crossing the USA, whatever. They had to have good enough handling that if you felt like going whatever speed the Spirit told you to go up a certain road, you could do that and feel comfortable that you were going to stay stuck to the road real good. And they had to have enough room for luggage because you were going to go travel a bit. But they still had to be kind of sporty because you had to arrive in style. Let's start with the obvious. As I said, I don't have a European Grand Touring car. I got a Mustang. I think it still fits the qualifications of having plenty of power to go whatever speed I feel like going. It's the same shape and general layout that a conventional Grand Touring car is. It's just American, and American cars for some reason can't be Grand Tourers. The part that I'm going to throw in here, though, is we're pushing with the dick we got, and I'm actually going to be taking my wife's V6 Mustang. It has a little bit less power, but I think it still fits the bill. It's got plenty of power to go whatever speed we feel like going. There's been a few things done to it to make it a little nicer than it was stock. If you want to pause it right here, I'll put that stuff on the screen for nerds. The next thing, though, that we're going to do is we're going to load our luggage, we're going to load our stuff into it, and we're going to explore the idea of Grand Touring with the means that we can afford. I get that this is really just road tripping, but it's kind of like a bouquet of roses is just a blade of grass. Like, the meaning that you assign to something is kind of what dictates the vibe you're going to get from it. And we're vibing pretty good.
Yeah.
The pizza at Rodeo's, fantastic. The hotel we got here in Weed, California. Yeah, look, we got to do it on our budget, you know? It's grand. this guy's an overland and overlander who overlands overland.
I am not an overlander guy.
Hey buddy, how's it going? Aren't you a cutie? All right, say hi to the other ones. Why is this shopping cart 5 feet wide? I do not understand the size of this shopping cart.
Too bad because you can sit up front.
Yeah, you could, dude, it's a double seater. Holy cow. You could probably fit 3 across there if you wanted to.
They're real little.
Sometimes one of the most fun things to do on a little kind of just trip is to find a local park, go chill in it, have a picnic, and enjoy eating outdoors instead of always just going to restaurants over and over again. It's not about saving money, it's just about like, this is the best weather in the world. Like, I'm incredibly comfortable in spite of what my shirt says. So we're here at this park in a town called La Grande, California, and what's weird is it's Sunday afternoon. It couldn't be more beautiful. And there's nobody here at the park. How's it feel being in Bakersfield? Hot. I was told by none other than Ben Collins that you have to eat good food when you're on a grand tour, so I guess we're here. I haven't really been bringing you along for everything we've done in the last couple of days because it's been hanging out with my friends, and you know, that's meaningful to me, but I'm not sure it would really be meaningful for storytelling purposes. We went up the hill to Mariposa Coffee Company to visit Cowboy and his owner, Jerry, the guy who owns Mariposa Coffee Company. I've been buying from him for 30 years. He makes a fantastic cup of coffee, and so I had to go say hi to him and buy some merch. Anyway, we're gonna head up the Grapevine right now, and then we're gonna get into Hollywood, where we're gonna, I guess, be a little more glamorous. Well, shit, I guess we found ourselves in Hollywood. I don't know what to do once we're here. This ain't my style, but we're here. This might seem a little bit dumb in a car that doesn't have a whole lot of room in it, but we got to our destination a bit early and decided, let's kill some time at IKEA.
Jellying up your fries?
Even better. This is going to sound a lot more glamorous than it actually is. We're in a hotel in Hollywood, and we're going to go hang out with a friend who lives in Beverly Hills. And I mean, he's a celebrity, but we're just like people in a shitty hotel hanging out, so it's not really all that glamorous. This is actually a pretty nice hotel. I know that we've kind of trashed it by sleeping in it and unpacking all our stuff, but the last couple nights we were in like Motel 6s, and they were not even up to Motel 6's high lofty standards. This one's pretty good. about to roll into the town of Bishop, California, which is in the high desert. It's just south of Mono Lake, which if you go through Yosemite National Park towards the east, through the really beautiful backcountry of it, you end up in Mono Lake. If you haven't been there, you got to be there. It's just a really stunning piece of the world. But we're going to try and find us some food because even though we're on the home stretch or something like it, we're not going to stop partying.
Woo, partying.
Yeah, see, my wife said, "Who partying?" You know?
Woo!
We pulled off the side of the road at Lee Vining. That highway up there goes up to the backside of Yosemite National Park. So if you were coming from the San Joaquin Valley across the mountains to Mono Lake, which is behind me over here, you'd come along there. Right now, Yosemite requires reservations because there's a lot of people that want to see the outdoors, and they've closed down a lot of places that people would share. So that kind of leaves a little bit of a congestion in some of the most beautiful places. Mono Lake is an interesting, like an ancient sea that has just these weird little brine shrimp that live in there. It's super saline. So if you swim in it, you are a lot more buoyant than you usually are. Elevation here, I think, is about 7,000 feet. We've been having an absolute blast just cruising up the hills, going whatever speed we felt like going, kind of ignoring the speed limit signs. We're headed for Lake Tahoe tonight. We're going to spend a bit of time swimming there, stay in a cheap hotel. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, those prices seem a little nuts. But I guess that's what you pay to be somewhere beautiful. Admittedly, it's a little bit cold and a lot windy, but we made it to Tahoe. The sun's still out, so I'm gonna get myself a little wet. Pretty bright, but Tahoe's like what would happen if the ocean was made out of pure water. I haven't been here for years, but it's still beautiful. This part of a road trip is one of those like necessary relaxation things. You just get to hang out, just watch your laundry do the thing. week now and covered like 2,200 miles. Right now we're in Reno. We stopped at a little coffee shop, which we've been to once before about 10 years ago. And it was a ray of sunshine in an otherwise pretty bleak trip. So we remembered it because I don't know about you, but I travel on my stomach. I always remember the places that take care of me. And this place took real good care of us. We had a fantastic cup of coffee back then, and we got ourselves some amazing coffee this time. It's a little hot still, but I can tell I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of this when it gets a little cooler. So today is either gonna be a long day or we'll do 2 shorter days. Whenever you get closer to your home, of course, you're closer to the stuff that's familiar, that you've already done, that you could go do on a weekend. So there's less sights for us to see on the way home. I've never been to Winnemucca though, so I think we might cruise over that direction and then head up to Burns, Oregon. We'll either Ironman this and get home in like 12 hours, or we'll split it up into 2 easy days. Are you overlanding? Technically.
I am not an overlander guy. I can't believe it, how time flies. It's late, so am I.
Man, it is beautiful out here today. The weather's just fantastic. But let's talk about what we learned on our little trip here. Aside from that, a lot of bugs get stuck to the front of a car. You know, for all the journalism and focus in groups and forums online and entertainment, for all the focus that us car nerds put into sports cars and racing and all that stuff, we're not doing it. And I know this because racetracks would not be shutting down if people were going to racetracks. That's how this works. People go to racetracks, they don't shut down. The fact is they're shutting down. There's only one explanation for that. Let's not be stupid. The other part is that I could count on my fingers, I have all of them, I could count on my fingers with probably a thumb or two left over how many sporty cars we saw on the entire trip. Like in between towns, actually driving between cities, we saw maybe like 5 Mustangs, a Corvette. I did see a Bentley Continental, so we saw an official Grand Touring Grand Tourer. And people just aren't taking these things on road trips. And I think that's wild considering how much attention they get. In Beverly Hills, we were hanging out with friends there and we saw a lot of fancy expensive cars, but they were pretty much all SUVs and Teslas. That's about it. We saw a Ferrari dealership, but whoever's buying them, they're just driving them home, parking them in the garage. No one's actually driving those things. And I think that's a shame because there is actually something to this. It's just like when you put on a suit, it changes the way your day goes. And when you put on a sports car and go for a road trip, it changes the way your road trip goes. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse, but it sets the tone. It creates the vibe. Smoke them if you got them.